The weather is great and the crowds are back, which could only mean one thing over at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It is opening weekend for Food and Wine, and we are here to bring you guys along for all the fun. Go check out what the event has to offer. I know that there is a lot of new food booths this year, and it's not just about food and wine. It's about the atmosphere. They have beer. They have other libations that you could enjoy. So let's get inside the park. I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on how to make the most of your trip to the Food and Wine Festival and have some fun. Let's go. And it is a busy day here in the park. It's a beautiful day with an amazing event, so that is expected, but we'll still make the most of it as we make our way in. And we are in, and per usual, the fountain gets its new theming for a new event, kind of like a basket for a winery with the beautiful lions here pouring their water into the fountain, and of course, people throwing in coins and making wishes. And my wish is for an amazing Food and Wine Festival for everybody who's watching. Let's make our way in, let's check out all the new things, and just have a blast. And first things first, a lot of people are going to want to get their Food and Wine lanyard with their tasting card, but take into consideration, although yes, you can get it right here at the Welcome Center as you enter and pass the Globe Theater on your right-hand side and make your way into the park. Most of the food booths will offer a tasting lanyard at the checkout. So you could actually wait, and for your first item that you intend to purchase, go ahead and purchase the lanyard and then just utilize it right there for the first items that you're gonna be getting. Right now, there's not too much of a long wait here, so I wouldn't be opposed to getting your lanyard here, but we will be getting a lanyard. But let's talk a little bit about the event quickly. All right, and starting off with, for those of you who don't know by now, I highly recommend downloading the app so that you can navigate the event. But as you can see, Food and Wine is right here, and the Food and Wine Festival opened up this weekend, but it's going from April 25th all the way to June 9th. So the great thing about it is you will have plenty of time to come and enjoy the event. And you can see the sampler cards are also here as well on the prices, so you could get yourself a 15 item sampler for $85 or a 10 item sampler for $70. I think we're gonna end up going with the 10 item just because with our Platinum Pass, we got 2 additional free, and I'm by myself. 15 items can be a lot. It's definitely something where if you plan on making multiple trips, well worth it. And we'll talk about the savings once we get the lanyard and kind of finalize the taxes and fees on these prices on how to maximize that in just a moment. But yes, Food and Wine, some of the best time here at the park. We definitely enjoy it. You get to enjoy food from all over, from Virginia, from Jamaica, Africa, and different places. So make sure to make your way on over to the park. There's some new things going on this year as well, and probably our third favorite time of the year to come visit Busch Gardens Williamsburg. All right, it is the Food and Wine Festival, so we had to start ourselves with a little red wine. I'm not a fan of white wine, so I got ourselves a little glass of red wine with our free tasting item card, and then we took a little step over here. If you can see, this was like the welcome center for Loch Ness, and it has been kind of taken down in preparation for the opening of Loch Ness. But we got our tasting lanyard. We actually ended up going with the 15 card or the 15 item tasting lanyard. So let's talk a little bit about how to maximize that lanyard at the event. All right, and to start us off, there's still a little piece of the Discovery Center here for Loch Ness, but everything else is gone. But let's take a quick look. Let's hope that the wind works in our favor. We're using the red wine glass to kind of hold things down. But as you can see here, the 15 item tasting card was $99.07. Now, that being said, there's Ollie and I. What that amounts to is each item that you purchase needs to be $6.60 and certain decimal points. Very advanced setup that we have here to calculate this. But this is the minimum that the item needs to be in order for you to break even. So my goal today is going to be to make sure that all the items that are purchased are at least $7 or more, and that'll make sure that I maximize and get the discount that they claim. Up to 20%, I think they say that you could do with these tasting lanyards. So definitely a savings, definitely something that I think makes it easy for you so that, you know, it's one and done. You don't have to pull out your wallet every single time, but they stopped giving you the lanyard with it. So bring your own lanyard so you can hang it around your neck and go throughout the park. All right, guys, and a couple of the booths that I'm looking at checking out, I'm really interested in, hopefully you guys are interested in checking these out as well, is the all-new Africa booth. This one's over in Ireland. Of course, we also got to check out the margaritas in Mexico and then the Mexico booth to get some delicious tacos. And, of course, we got to go over to Brazil. If you guys know, the skirt steak is one of my favorite items. I hope that they haven't done away with it like they did with the she crab soup. She crab soup was my favorite item here at the festival, but unfortunately Virginia no longer offers it. They do offer a crab cake, and it's a bad sign because the crab cake is currently sold out for the day. So it's a busy day. It's probably been a super busy weekend to open up the event, but let's make our way over to Africa, the new booth for this year, and see if we can try out some of their food items. We did try out some of them during the preview that we had for Loch Ness. Make sure to check that out. Loch Ness should be opening up soon. But we didn't get to try out everything. So let's make our way over to that booth and see if there's some good items for us to test. And as we make our way into Ireland, of course, we have to pay respects to the beautiful water features. And if you can see right there, I might try to zoom in. There's a snake swimming across the water feature here. Of course, the fountain is currently not on, but the waterfall is cascading. And that snake looks huge. All right, let's make our way in and check out the Africa booth. All right, and we've made it over to the Africa booth, and it does look like it's currently not open, or maybe there's really just not that many lines. Maybe it just looked busy at the entrance, and it's really not as busy as it seems. We did try the peri peri chicken already, which was delicious during the Loch Ness preview event. And also, we have a couple other items that we haven't tried here. So the Botti, which is a beef curry and baked egg custard. I'm assuming it's this right here, and that right there is the peri peri chicken. I could confirm, but I'm assuming this is the Botti. And then we got koshari, which is from Egypt, a blend of rice, pasta, lentil, chickpeas, crispy onions, and zesty tomatoes. Yum. And the milk turt, South Africa's sweet pastry crust. Now, we're not going to start off with anything sweet. Obviously, we have some wines and other drinks that you could enjoy, but I think we might try that Botti. And before we make our way in, it's also cool to mention that just like the previous years, all of the booths will have these little stanchions that kind of have some cool history and explanation about the culinary history of these countries, as well as just some simple history of the countries as well. So if you want to learn something about Africa or any other booth that you go explore, check these out and do a little bit of reading. All right, guys, so we did get the Botti. I believe that's how you pronounce it, or bobo tie, I'm not too sure. But in our typical kind of strategy, we're getting things that are above $7. I believe this was $7.25, but it is the beef curry and baked egg custard, which sounds delicious, looks a little interesting, but let's go ahead and try it out and give you some feedback. All right, now first things first, I want to get myself a nice helping of the egg as well with the beef so we could try it out and show you guys. Let's see if I could get it to focus. There you go. It does look very appetizing, smells delicious, and I gotta say, portion size is pretty decent as well. Oh man, that is flavorful, and they did not skimp with the beef and the egg. The mixture is like perfect. It's just like the egg complemented the beef in making it like the mixture, but there's a good amount of beef in there. So off of the first bite, let's do a second bite. Before I make my recommendations, let's do a second bite. A nice big hefty bite. Another one. Oh yeah, and it has that like delicious like curry flavor. Highly recommend this one. I might actually double up on this one. All right, so seriously, the bubble tea was delicious and also kept with our strategy. I would assume that's probably the best item that they have offering in there. We're gonna keep on making our way. There's a couple other stops that I mentioned to you guys. We typically don't stop at Hawaii, but as I'm coming up to it, I'm kind of tempted to stop and maybe get a drink. All right, and we take a quick look. The Kahlua pork slider does sound delicious. It kind of does go out of our strategy. The Loco Moco would probably be what's in our strategy, which is a hamburger patty, fried eggs, sushi rice, and brown gravy. That actually does sound delicious. So that might be on the menu for us today, but I'm not sure I want to wait in this long line that Hawaii has. All right, we have decided that we are going to wait in the line, but at least this line has a beautiful view of the bald eagles as you wait. That one item just sounded so delicious that I decided, all right, this is going to be worth it, and hopefully it is. All right, and here you have it, the Loco Moco. It does look very appetizing, and once again, the portion size of this does look delicious as well. But I will say, I did want to get the pork sliders, but unfortunately, with the tasting sampler, the pork sliders just didn't make sense. So what I'm going to try to strategize is any items that I want to get that don't necessarily meet our strategy to maximize the tasting sampler, I'm going to use my last free sampler. So I'm going to save that for something I really, really want. But in the meantime, let's take a bite out of the Loco Moco. All right, I am kind of crouching down because the table is small. We're doing this with one hand, and the burger is kind of like in this kind of gravy. And then we got the egg with a little bit of rice, and one-handing this is definitely not a simple task. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the bite right there. It's kind of like a meatloaf. Get a little bit of that rice, a little bit more of the egg, and the egg is like a very well done egg. Yeah, this is like it's like a meatloaf with rice and egg. Here, I got a big piece of the egg now. I would recommend, because of the portion size, it does taste good. And, you know, if you're trying to, oops, almost spit out my food. If you're trying to maximize your sampler, do it. If not, grab that pork slider. I think that pork slider is going to be a must do a little bit later. All right, so the Loco Moco, definitely a good dish, but would I recommend it over the dish over in Africa? No. It wasn't anything special, and coming from a Hawaii booth, I expected it to be a little bit more tropical, but unfortunately it was just like meatloaf, rice, and egg. I'm kind of sad that I didn't bite the bullet and get the pork belly sliders, but that's okay. We're on our way to Mexico to get some tacos. Bam, and Mexico never letting me down. There was a reason why I didn't get the pork belly over in Hawaii. We got barbecue pork tacos here for $7.25, so right in our strategy range. Basically everything here is in our strategy range, to be honest. We got the taco trio, which is barbecue pork taco, shredded beef taco, and crispy shrimp taco. So one of each for $18.75. If that's something that I could possibly get on the tasting lanyard, then that is a bang for your buck. We're definitely going to attempt for that. If not, we might do the pork tacos. I'm not a fan of getting fish at a theme park, so shredded beef tacos and sopapillas cheesecake bar. Sounds delicious, but I'm gonna hold off on desserts up till the end. All right, I'm in too much of a rush to try these out because they both sound delicious, so we're gonna skip the B-roll and get right into it. Okay, B-roll now. All right, and our offerings today from Mexico that we're trying out are the two new tacos, the barbecue pork taco and the shredded beef taco. And fittingly so, we have Selena in the back playing. Hopefully she doesn't get me copywritten stricken, but the barbecue pork carnitas, queso fresco, and pickled onions is what's the barbecue taco. And then we got the marinated citrus and soy shredded beef, queso fresco, cilantro, and mango salsa. I really can't recommend one of these over the other. They both paired very well together and they are both delicious. One thing I can say is that the sizing, the offering size, unlike the other two, is not as big. So I would definitely recommend getting two or more. So these two paired together is something I would definitely recommend, or just get two of one of them. You can't go wrong either way. And also they have that taco trio that we saw on the menu. And although I thought we had found some type of cool loophole, no, you can't use that with the tasting lanyard. And if you do decide to use that with the tasting lanyard, they're going to punch 3 holes into your tasting lanyard. So I don't think it's necessarily worth it. And like I said, I wouldn't eat the shrimp one anyway. All right, and I am a bit of a hot, sweaty mess, so we did stop and get ourselves a margarita. We got the watermelon frozen margarita, but unfortunately none of their frozen drinks are actually frozen at the moment, but it's still delicious and refreshing for a hot day here at the park. Beautiful day nonetheless. All right, and we continue on our way through the park. It is a beautiful day. They also do have, I wanted to point out, some festival action as far as like bands that you could stop and check out. Over here we have some show times for the festivals, 12:30, 3 p.m. and 5:30. You could see all these different artists perform and the different dates. And then of course we have Griffin about to make its beautiful drop. Let's head on over to Brazil. And bam, we make it to the Brazil booth, and Brazil does not let me down. From what I could see, no new items. Everything is the same as last year. Churrasco, linguiça, abacate, and arroz dulce cremoso, coconut rice, pudding, and cinnamon. That sounds delicious. But, of course, we're going to do the churrasco and check out that price. Big bang for your buck on the sampling card. Churrasco in the bag. We are about to munch out. It smells delicious as well. Brazil never lets down. But I was surprised that they didn't have any new items this year, but that's okay with me. All right, and I won't make the same mistake that we made in Hawaii and try to cut the item on camera. But as you can see, we got the beef right there with the chimichurri sauce. It smells amazing. Kind of weird to smell on camera, but this is a dish that each and every year I look forward to. It's something that I make at home as well, my style, the Cuban style, but the Brazilian style is top notch. Whew, the food is really doing a job on me. I am getting full, but check me out. New France, the little like wooden swings. I've never actually sat here, but this is nice, calming, and in the shade. One thing I did want to start talking about is how much have we ate? How much have we potentially saved? Let's take a look at that now on the food lanyard and see how many items we've consumed and what they've cost roughly. As it stands on the Sip and Savor 15 item lanyard or sampler card, we have done 6 items. Now, take into consideration that was 6 items. One of them was a drink, and Alpenguy's coming by, so sorry if it's loud. But one of those items, so we actually did 7, only 6 on here. One of them was a free item, so that's why I'm a little bit full. We definitely won't be finishing this, but at the current cost of around $7.25, because that's been our strategy, we've consumed 7 items, with one of them being $13, which was the margarita, I forgot what it was called, something margarita, but check it out. That brings us to $49.25, and we haven't even consumed half of the card. We still have another, 8 items? Yeah, we have another 9 items. My apologies. Another 9 items to consume before we've done the full amount. So $49, that's actually pretty good. We are currently less than halfway through the card, but already have recouped half of our expense, which was $99 and something cents, or almost half of our expense, right? We're almost at $50. Do take into consideration the alcoholic beverages. Actually, we had 2 alcoholic beverages, so that was a little bit off. There should have been another like 13 on there. But the alcoholic beverages, they do give you a sample size, so it's really not $13 worth. I believe $13 is what you get charged for the large. The sample size, we could probably say, is like half. So if you were to take $7 off of that, we're still at $49 because I did have 2 alcoholic beverages. So right around $49. If you were to consume all alcoholic beverages, then potentially you'd be getting yourself a good bang for your buck. But man, so far so good. I'm having a blast, and I gotta say, I might do the rest of the video from this chair right here. It's nice and comfy. And we skip over the Jamaican Boof, and not that it didn't have great things, it honestly does have some of the best items on there, and definitely with that frozen Jamaican punch, but I just didn't feel like waiting in the line, and I'm not sure that I can fit another item in. I'm just going to keep on strolling, and if I see something special, I'm going to be selective and get that, but we will be back to finish off that lanyard regardless. $100, we're definitely finishing it off. And check this little guy out that we just got for my son Ollie. It's a little shoulderkin. I've never seen these guys, but apparently they come with like a metal magnet, and he could wear it on his shoulder. He is a huge fan of Sesame Street, so I think he's going to be blown away by this little guy. Additionally, I did notice that the one food and wine free sampler that we got is expired today. So we printed it out today, so we have to utilize it today. So even though we're full, we have one more item that we need to fill in our belly. And October Taps is currently closed, which is a nice place to grab your beer, but there is an amazing performer. Dude has a great voice. This is where Mac Tower used to be, and then now is defunct and gone, and has been replaced by an actor, or a singer. And as we're crossing over to Italy, we do have to pay respects. Check it out. She should be back soon. Senorita Loch Ness should start to do the pass holder preview rides this coming Thursday, which I believe is May 2nd. And then there is a, what's it called? A media event on the 9th. And I think she officially opens up that weekend. I'm not sure of the timeline, but for sure on the 2nd, I believe the pass holder previews begin. And she will return in her full glory. And check it out, as Verbolten just dropped, the Rhine River Cruises have returned. I can't wait to get a ride on that. Monique has been saying for some time that she wants to ride the Rhine River Cruise, so hopefully soon we'll be able to ride it together. And we're passing the Italy booth. Just wanted to make a quick stop. Nothing on here really piques my interest. I don't see any new items. They got the giant meatballs from last year, the caprese, the maltagliata or aliati, I don't know, and the lemon ricotta cake. Nothing that really piques my interest. I believe that's the lemon ricotta cake right there. The meatballs are good. I just am too full to get a giant meatball. I think my last item is going to be something free and frozen, hopefully. All right, in Turkey, another booth with nothing really that piques my interest, but some cool items that I can't pronounce. So if you'd like to freeze this right here, you can kind of see what the items are and what they're made of, but we'll keep on moving on. Definitely one of the cooler booths because it's new this year, but unfortunately it caught us on the full end of the trip. All right, so we skipped over the I think it was the sangria booth accidentally, but I guess we're going to end up getting a food item here at South Korea. I do love the food from South Korea, and bulgogi just sounds amazing. And $7.50, great value with the tasting lanyard. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves that, and this looks like it's the Korean pork rib. Yummy, yummy. And with this beautiful floral background, we finish off by eating our bulgogi, and I gotta say, delicious. Just like any Korean barbecue place that I've been to, and I love Korean barbecue. But guys, we went through the whole entire event and we had an amazing day here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg for the opening weekend of their Food and Wine Festival. I definitely recommend you guys make your way out, and there's a couple items throughout this video that I recommend you highly try out. They were delicious, and that food and wine lanyard, definitely something. The 15 item one is definitely the better bang for your buck. A little bit more expensive, but if you intend to eat that much, definitely make use of it, because if it's $7 or more, you're saving a lot of money over your day here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. We still have many other items that we have to utilize on the tasting lanyard, so we will be back, but I'm not sure if we'll do a follow-up video for the Food and Wine Festival, but we definitely will do a video coming up for the opening of Loch Ness Monster, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out other videos like this one right here. Guys, we enjoyed bringing you guys along. I hope you enjoyed coming along. We'll see you on the next one, but don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?